What's going on? Welcome to another day of mobility. Get yourself comfy on your mat, and let's take some attention to your breath. Not worrying about the pace of the breath, just observe it. And allow yourself to naturally find a pace of breath that helps you find a nice relaxing state. Focus on directing that air deep into that belly area, feeling that belly rise. And just letting go of any tension on the exhale. Mentally go into your happy place. Letting go of any stress you've been carrying. And just allow yourself to enjoy the moment. We'll take a bit of a scan through the shoulders. On your next exhale, imagine getting nice and soft through the triceps, biceps, through your pecs. Just feeling your shoulders and elbows sink heavy into your mat. Staying nice and relaxed, nice calming breaths. It's just you and your mat and your breath. Let's take one more breath here. As you sigh out that breath, we'll grab that lacrosse ball and start our attention on the left tricep. So let's get ourselves into an overhead position, so elbow should be above your shoulder line. Start by searching through that tricep and just look for areas of tension. It could be around the inside head, the outside head, or right in the middle. It could be anywhere between your elbow and up closer to your shoulder. Do some searching. Look for what needs attention. And then experiment with the angle of pressure that we're applying, and then how much pressure we're applying. You can use your off arm and your elbow to add a bit of pressure or take it away, depending on what your body's telling you it needs. And once you've found that stimulus, settle back to your breath. Use the rhythm of your breath to help that tricep to relax. On the exhale, just imagine exhaling tension from that target area. Allowing that mind to relax, to allow that body to relax. Let's take one more breath. And as you exhale, we'll shift our attention to the left bicep. So on the opposite side of your upper arm, just panning along through that bicep. If an overhead position is a struggle to you, keeping your elbow above the line of your shoulder will help us free up that tissue in the position of restriction. Just do your searching, look for what needs attention along that bicep. Once you found the right spot, experiment a little bit with how you're angling your arm into that ball. Find the position that feels right. And again, you can experiment with how we're leaning into that ball. You can use your off arm to add a bit more force and pressure. Find the right amount of tension that your body's telling you it needs today. And that's going to be different for everybody doing this. So let the video be a guide for where to start, and let your body's feedback be your means for refining how we're tackling this. And once we're there, settle back to your breath. Finding that pace of breath that helps your mind find calm and peace. And let's take one more breath here. As you let go of that breath, we'll we'll shift our attention to the left shoulder traction. So if you have a band handy and you know the banded traction option, you can jump into that. We're going to demo the child's pose option. So just start by pinning your left wrist to the mat and gently leaning away to get a subtle pull, subtle stimulus around the center of the shoulder. All we're looking for is a subtle pressure release around the socket. If we have any pain or feelings of instability or anything tightening up when we do this, we're being too aggressive. So just find that right amount of pull that helps that joint just find a little bit of breathing room so it can glide a little better and allow us for better movement. Let's take one more breath. As you let go of that breath, we'll shift our attention to the right tricep. So grabbing that lacrosse ball again, working the back side of that upper arm, searching for areas that need attention. Once you've found the right spot, settle into how we're angling into that spot and then how much pressure we're applying. You can lean your head and lean your off arm to apply or take away some of that pressure. Just be sensitive to what the body is telling you it needs. And once we're there, settle back to focusing on your breath, being present, and finding calm. As you let go of that breath, just feel that tricep mold around that lacrosse ball and soften and let go of tension. And how aggressive we go here is really up to you. It's up to your body. If your body's feeling like it can take a little extra tension, feel free to get a little more aggressive. Generally, higher tension will help us reach those deeper tissues to get a deeper release. As long as we're not diving into pain, we can get a little more aggressive. Let's take one more breath here. And as you let go of that breath, we'll shift our attention to the right bicep. So start by panning through that whole bicep, looking for what needs attention. And when you found your trouble spot, experiment with the angle of pressure and the amount of pressure. And then again, settle back to your breath. And take a moment to turn off any muscle we don't need. We don't need your lower body. Relax those legs, your calves, your feet. We don't need your face muscles. Relax your brow, your cheeks. And just doing a quick body scan. Any muscle we don't need to hold this position, just turn the off switch and let it go to sleep. And then turning your attention back to your breath, finding that rhythm with your breath that helps your mind relax. And let's take one more good quality breath. Direct that air deep into that lower abdomen. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift our attention to the right shoulder traction. So pinning your right wrist to your mat, gently leaning away in a child's pose. Focusing your attention on freeing up the joint itself with a little bit of space and depressurization. So relaxing those muscles, those posterior delts, those traps, those lats, anything around the shoulder itself that tends to carry tension. Try your best to turn it off and give just a subtle pull in around that shoulder to free up that joint pressure and allow for better movement. And then turning your attention back to your breath, maintaining a nice calming, relaxing pacing of breath. Good quality diaphragmatic breaths, directing that air deep. Let's take one more breath. And as you let go of that breath, move into a left side sleeper. So lying on your left side, start by pinning your shoulder blade back and squeezing your elbow towards your body, and then just gently pressing your wrist down towards the floor like you're assisting yourself in winning an arm wrestle. And ideally you want that whole upper arm flush on your mat. And we shouldn't feel any strain in the front part of that shoulder, so feel pretty deep with that internal rotation stretch. Find the level of stretch that feels okay for your body today. And then settle back to your breath. Help your breath calm your mind, and help your mind calm that target tissue into whatever level of stretch feels right for today. And in a few seconds, we'll gently get active by pressing that left hand up into your right hand to resist the stretch. Let's go ahead, starting with nice easy pressure, attempting to reverse that stretch, slowly ramping up tension as we go. Big tension here towards the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that, actively squeezing that left wrist closer to the floor, slowly ramping up tension as we go. And giving a big squeeze here towards the end. 3, 2, 1. Let go of that breath. Let your shoulder find whatever amount of stretch feels right. Staying as passive as you can around that shoulder joint. Doing a quick body scan, turning off any muscle we don't need. We need that right arm. We don't need the face. We don't need the legs. Let all that stuff get nice and soft. Let's take one more breath here. I need you to let go of that breath. We'll switch to the opposite side. So lying on your right side, starting by pinning your right shoulder blade back, placing your left hand on top of your right wrist and gently pressing that wrist towards the floor until you find a manageable level of stretch. Making sure that your whole upper arm is flush on your mat. Your shoulder's not coming off, your elbow's nice and flat. And we're not feeling any strain. We're pressing into a stretch position, not getting into pain. Focusing on your breath, using your breath to help that right arm to find a nice passive state. And in a few seconds, we will gently get active with that right side by pressing up against your right hand. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, slowly ramping up tension as we go. Continually ramping that up here to finish strong with good force. Let's finish strong. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that. Activating by actively pulling that right wrist towards the mat, ramping up tension as we go. And some big tension here to finish up. Really squeezing. 3, 2, 1. Let go of your breath. Find that passive position. You may find you're a little deeper into the stretch. If the shoulders are a little stubborn and they're not ready to go further, that's okay. Trust the process and we'll get there. Let's focus back on your breath. Nice calming breaths. At that nice calming pace. Let's take one more breath here. And slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll move into a left overhead scorpion stretch. We'll start by facing down on your floor, arms out in a Y, and open yourself up towards your left arm to stretch that left shoulder. And nothing too forceful or aggressive. Be sensitive to how your shoulder's feeling. There shouldn't be any pinchiness or pain. Just find a light stretch through the front side of that pec and your delt. At whatever position feels right. Nothing too forceful. Consciously try to get passive through that left side. For finding depth in the stretch, it's by relaxing that left side. We'll gently get active here in a few seconds by pressing your left palm down into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy pressure, gradually ramping up that pressure as we go. Really adding some good force here to finish up, really squeezing, pressing down. 3, 2, 1, let's gently reverse. Activate through the back part of your shoulder, attempting to pull yourself deeper into that stretch, opening up further, ramping up further as we go. Really squeezing here for these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath. Find a nice passive position. Relax that left side. Fall into whatever position feels right. Getting as passive as you can throughout your whole body, through your head, your neck, your traps. Focusing on your breath. Just allowing yourself to enjoy the moment. Let's take one more breath here. As you let go of that breath, we'll switch to the right side. So again, if you start facing down, arms out in a Y, open yourself up towards your right side to stretch out that right pec and shoulder in a slight overhead position. Find the position that feels right. Again, we don't want pinchiness or pain. We just want to stretch. And as we're here, focusing on getting nice and passive through that whole right side, just submit to the stretch. Relax into it and fall into whatever range feels right. And in a few seconds, we'll gently get active again by pressing into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, pressing that palm down into the floor with your right arm. Slowly ramping up tension as we go. Really pressing with some big force here to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through the posterior delt. Actively pull yourself deeper into that stretch. Ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing here for the end. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Getting nice and passive through that shoulder. Relaxing into whatever position feels right. Consciously turning off any tense muscles right now throughout the whole body. Any muscle we don't need, just hit that off switch. Mentally relax and find calm. Let's take one more breath here. And as you let go of that breath, we'll transition into a handcuffs. So starting with your hands behind your head, and slowly and deliberately extending them out into a Y, reaching out behind you, and slowly moving them backwards through your end limits, as close to your midline as you can, bringing your hands in behind your back and then up along your back to finish, and then just slowly reversing, pressing those palms out away, reaching up behind you, reaching as close to as far behind your back as you can, at your own pace, and then finishing with your hands behind your head, and then starting again. And as we work our way through this, just be a little more aggressive, challenge yourself to work your shoulders into their outer limits, and see if we can carve out new range. Let's finish this last rep up with some big force, really squeezing into those corners. And let you finish off this rep. Take a nice, long, deep inhale into your belly. Slowly let go of that breath, and we'll call it a day. Thanks for coming out today, guys. Hope those shoulders are feeling great. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.